summer she will be moving to California to start her new job at Google as a software engineer. She's here to offer us her advice on how to make the best of college and how to work towards getting a job outside of school, and to remind us that much of her final success was the result of consistently working to improve her skills.
下面我们即请 Anna 孙女士的女儿 Tiffany 张女士。Tiffany 是 Georgia Tech 计算机专业的学生。今年夏天，她将应聘去加利福尼亚州开始 Google 公司软件工程佬的工作。今天，她在这里就加和上好大学。如何努力去获得学外的工作，提供更宝贵的资源，并且我们不管关于到什么困难，只有不断努力，不停地提高自己的计算水平，才能取得成功。让我们欢迎 Tiffany 女士。
我先介绍一下啊，我是 Tiffany 的妈妈，可能很多人都认识我。那今天我们讲的目的，并不是说你们的孩子可以进哈佛或者斯坦福，你们说叫他不要去进交警泰克，绝对不是这个意思。就是说我们讲的是，如果你的经济不行，或者你的孩子有能力进哈佛、斯坦福，但是你经济上受不了，1年6万或者8万的，或者说你的小孩你有经济能力，你小孩进不了哈佛，或者进不了斯坦福，你们在交警泰克照样可以成才。所以我们把这个讲清楚啊。所以我女儿呢，就是说她在交警泰克，她也照样能成才。OK， 谢谢。
Hi, thank you everyone. I'm really honored to be able to get to speak here today. I'm really excited about getting to work at Google and also getting the chance to share some of my advice about going through college and just my story with you guys. Alright, so I guess I'll start by talking about sort of my approach to just learning from classes in general. I think that when you're going to college, it's kind of important to have an image of what your end goal is. And I tend to, when I was in classes, I tend to kind of imagine myself as a professional and think about, and I always try to think about how the things I was learning in classes could help me with a job, specifically as a programmer. And to also constantly think about how I could make money for a company, because that's how you end up getting paid a lot, if you can make money for people. So I think focusing on classes is very important, but at the same time sometimes classes don't always necessarily teach you absolutely everything you need to know to succeed in a job. So you need to make sure you make some time to take initiative on your own, to do things like learn more about the industry you're working in. You can just do Google searches on random stuff you're curious about, and to constantly keep on developing skills that might be useful. For example, if you look at random job postings in the field you're looking at, say if you want to be a programmer, you can just look at programmer job postings. You can look at the skills that they want programmers to have, and you can kind of see that, for example, right now JavaScript programming is really hot. A lot of companies seem to want JavaScript developers, but JavaScript isn't the kind of thing that a college class would teach you. And it's not that hard to learn if you're the kind of person who can get through a college degree in computer science, but if you learn this little thing, a lot of companies are going to want to hire you a lot more. So it's really important to just kind of keep up with what people in the field want out of employees, and to kind of go out of your way to try to do things that you think could help your chances. Okay, but outside of that, I think I'm also going to talk a little bit about actually finding a job. So one thing that I think is really, really, really important is to start thinking about your job search early on in your college career. I think the best way to make sure you can get a job out of college is to make sure you can get a job while you're still in college. And what I mean by that is you need to starting your freshman year, it's a really good idea to start searching for internships early on. Because, here's the thing I look at, even if you don't think that you could get an internship, and even if you're not sure if your resume is good enough, or you're not sure if anyone wants to hire you, it's really important to make sure you get the experience of just putting yourself out there and just kind of like knowing what the job market is even like. You know, because like if you don't know like whether you're even capable of getting a job or not, like you could end up like going 4 years through college, and then like your senior year you're suddenly like, oh no, I need to apply for a job. And you like try applying for jobs, and then like no one interviews you, then you're just kind of out of luck. So internships are kind of like a great way to sort of make sure you sort of know what you're getting into with the job market. And like for my personal story, I do have to confess that like the first year when I was in college as a freshman, I applied to a ton of internships because I was kind of desperate. Like I would just go on my college job posting site, and I just like look at every single company that even like accepted any applications at all for freshmen, and I just like submit my resume to them. And so like I lost count of how many companies I submitted resumes for. But the one thing I remembered was that like not a single one of these companies like contacted me back. Like they didn't even like send me an email to reject me. You know, I just didn't hear back from any of them. So I think the thing is that like, well, that was kind of a bit of a downer, realizing that like I wasn't quite good enough to get an internship at that stage yet. It was really important for me to realize that I was at that stage. Because I mean, if I'd never even tried applying, I might have not even realized that this was my situation. You know, so like since I started early, I knew that I could improve. You know, and like during that particular summer, I felt like I kind of still need to do something. So I kind of desperately searched around the internet for just something to fill my time, and ended up like finding a job posting site where people posted odd jobs from Georgia Tech. And I ended up sending some emails to people, and ultimately I got my first job as an assistant web developer at Georgia Tech. And it wasn't like a glamorous job. It was nowhere near as cool as working at Google. It was a starting step, and it helped me like get over that barrier of wondering whether it was even possible for someone to pay me money to do work. You know, it's kind of daunting when you've never had a job before. My second year at Georgia Tech, when I was a sophomore, I went to career fair again. I decided to like do another try at this whole job searching thing. I think during this year, I still didn't quite realize I was making like a lot of resume mistakes and just like little mistakes. I'm not sure I was talking to recruiters the right way. To be honest, I don't totally know, but for some reason, like when I talked to recruiters, it seemed like they weren't that interested in hiring me. I always remember like the first time I ever got in line for Google, I had to wait 45 minutes because it was a really long line. And then like when I finally talked to the recruiter, I handed him my resume, and he just like holds it up in the light and looks at it, and he's like, "Han, that's some interesting paper you're using for your resume." And it was really funny because like I thought maybe I could improve my resume by printing it on really fancy paper, but I think like in hindsight I kind of realized that was sort of a dumb idea. And that maybe it was better to just focus on like editing the content of my resume to be more appealing to employers. You know, so like making a resume is something that's kind of tricky, so I mean I made a lot of mistakes. So I think I realized it was important to get that reviewed. Even after that semester, at the end of that second year, I still had some trouble finding an internship. But I ended up trying something that was kind of odd that I didn't really expect to work, which was that I found like out about like a bunch of small tech companies around the Atlanta area. You know, and then I just like kind of emailed them, and I told them, hey, I'm a programmer who needs some experience. I'm willing to work for really cheap. I just need something to do for the summer, and I'll do pretty much any job you want me to do that's programming related. And I mean, like I sent out a few of these emails, and one of them bit, and that was my first internship at a startup. That particular internship was actually kind of hard. Because I mean, like it was the kind of place that had like 5 programmers, and then like I joined in as like the 6th one, and they were just overwhelmed with work, and it constantly felt like they expected you to know like 3 programming languages overnight, you know, and like it felt like I was spending a lot of time just like trying to catch up with what they wanted me to do, but I felt like ultimately that was a really valuable experience, and it was kind of cool that I actually got a job that was like difficult and challenging, and I grew a lot as a programmer. And I think that was also really good because the next year I had some concerns that like companies would look at my resume and be like, what's this small company that no one's ever heard of? I don't want to hire someone from nowhere. But like I went to the career counselor, I got some advice on editing my resume, and I learned to like make my bullet points a lot better, and I learned, so then like I made sure that like the bullet points on my resume for that one internship at Star really communicated that it was kind of a difficult, challenging job. And I think this actually ended up working because when I talked to recruiters at Career Fair this time, the better resume design probably helped as well. Like it seemed to me that experience they were very interested in that experience at that startup that I had. So that semester, this was last year from now, I ended up getting like a ton of interviews at companies like Facebook and Dropbox and Quora. I got lots of interviews this time, which was so different from the past one. I just couldn't even, it seemed like recruiters just wouldn't talk to me at all. And like, it was really nice to get all these interviews, but then I kind of realized that even this was just like another step of learning to be better at getting a job, because that semester I actually ended up failing every single interview I took except for one. So I ended up at the company MathWorks, which was the only place I had managed to like pass the interview for, and I was pretty happy with my internship there. I was glad I didn't get rejected from everywhere, but I guess I kind of realized that I could still be doing better because I failed so many interviews. I was failing more than I passed, and the thing about computer science is that we have like these technical interviews where you basically like meet up with an engineer and they make you program a programming problem on a whiteboard. So it's kind of nerve-wracking because it's like a test, but someone's watching you as you write every little thing. So I was really nervous the first time I did technical interviews, and I made so many like little mistakes, and like I felt like I should be able to do the questions, but I also felt like I was like just completely in over my head. But at the same time, I kind of felt like I felt because I had applied and like gotten these interviews in the first place and gotten the chance to fail them, I knew what to expect from technical interviews, and I knew what I needed to do to succeed. So like I guess what I decided is like I knew what my weaknesses were. So because of that, I decided to fix them. The last fall, I ended up spending like almost all of my free time just practicing programming interview questions, and I had a lot of fun in the process. And I became a significantly better programmer, and I think that showed, because by the time Google interviewed me, I felt way more confident in my skills, I wasn't anxious anymore, and like I just kind of wrote answers to problems, I didn't make nearly as many mistakes, and well, I mean, you know how that story ends. Now I am with a job offer from Google. So what I'm trying to say with all this is basically that it's really important that you like get started early. Like you don't have to be afraid of getting rejected from companies, because like I kind of remember being young and like being like, man, jobs are so scary. I can't imagine ever working for somewhere, And like when you're a freshman in college, it can kind of seem like, well, maybe I should wait until my sophomore year to get an internship. Maybe when I'm a junior, I'll have more experience. It's very easy to put these things off, but I think at the end of the day, you just kind of need to like go for it, and like you need to learn from the process of like trying to apply for jobs, and then like if you fail, you can like just look at what you did, like look at where you went wrong, just be like, what can I do better next time? What can I do that will make this company want me more next time? And I think if you continuously do that through like all of your 4 years at college, or however many years at college you have, if you just keep on doing that, then you can just like improve and just get better at getting jobs. And like that starting early could very well be the difference between being a person who applies to lots of companies and doesn't get a single response, and being someone who gets a job at Google.
Any questions?
Yeah, any?
Thank you.
有问题吗？
对。
Okay, so the question was like if I had any tricky interview questions at Google. I remember. I think like at some point Google wanted me to sign something about like disclosing the interview questions, but like if you know general general computer science stuff, like they asked a lot of questions about just general algorithms. You know, that might not make sense if you're not into computer science, but like they asked like graphs questions, and like there's one question about like taking two trees and intersecting them, and there's like a system design question about load balancers. I'm being kind of vague because I don't want to like break the whatever I assigned, but it's general computers. Yeah.
I do have a second question.
Yeah.
You said you actually send a lot of resumes even when you are the first year, right?
Yeah.
Of course, I mean it's not successful. But what kind of how long the internship? You said you've been successful with so how many internships do you have? Just one with that company, or you do have two before
When I applied to Google, I had 2 internships total. Yeah. And one of them was at a startup, and the other one was at MathWorks that hired me my junior year. Yeah.
Can you talk about your experience in Georgia Tech? Because I'm more interested about what you learned at Georgia Tech that helped you get a job.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I think Georgia Tech I think is a good CS school. It's like I think the class. It's like kind of interesting. I think the lower level CS classes actually helped me the most. Like I think having a really good grasp of the fundamentals for Georgia Tech was actually helped me the most with like being good at the interview questions and stuff. You know, like the higher level classes are also very challenging and like really challenge your skills as a program. But I actually think that like learning the fundamentals really well was actually what helped me the most.
And can you talk about the career counseling at Georgia Tech? Did it help you the internship and interview and things like that?
Honestly, I primarily went to the career counseling to get some resume feedback, which I think was helpful because like they gave me some advice that I didn't necessarily realize before, like for example, to make sure that you sort of like phrase your resume from like the from a perspective that like is beneficial to the employer, or think about the perspective of the employer. You know, but I didn't. Like I think other than like regularly attending career fairs and stuff, I didn't have like an ongoing relationship with career counseling. You know, it was just kind of like make an appointment and drop in for some advice type of deal. Yeah.
And first off, congratulations. And you mentioned that many courses actually might be very helpful for your future career and were not offered in the college. So how did you handle the situation?
But as a programmer, like I like to handle that by personally making side projects in my own time. I think that like the basic stuff at Georgia Tech is good enough, I think, for computer science to get you a job. But like I think you do need to work a little bit outside of classes if you want to get a job at like Google or somewhere like really exciting or somewhere that's like really hard. You know?
So I know you mentioned Google. I know you mentioned Google a lot. So how is the interview at Google different from other internships that you have? Is it a lot more difficult or strenuous?
Yeah, I think honestly, like compared to interviews, like my interview junior year at MathWorks was not too stressful. Like there's actually just one phone screen that was like some technical questions, but nothing too tricky. The Google interview is I don't know how to describe it. Like I think the phone screens are a similar difficulty to like other companies like Facebook or Dropbox. But you know, I've never been on site for other companies, but the on-site Google interview is 5 hours of coding questions. So I think one of the things that makes it like kind of difficult is the fact that it's just like kind of mentally exhausting, and that they're kind of like judging every like little thing you do every way of the step of the way. You know, but so if you're confident in your skills, I think that helps a lot.
还有另外一些问题吗？
Yeah.
This may be a little bit more specific.
younger kids, like middle school kids. Are this helpful?
No, unfortunately, I don't know much about those. Sorry.
问题完了吗？让我们大家鼓掌，谢谢。
谢谢大家，看谢谢中文学校有这个机会，一起。
Hello.
Hello. 现在是这样子的，我们另2位嘉宾呢，现在因为 traffic